Mr. Sholaja, please introduce yourself.
I am Milosh Sholaja, Professor of International Relations and International Security in the Faculty of Political Sciences in Banja Luka, the Republic of Srpska, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
What's the main security challenges in your region?
The main security challenges in the Balkans are territorial disputes. First of all, there is a transition of sovereignty in many countries because there are such a huge internal disputes in Bosnia and Herzegovina about the territorial arrangements between two state-shaped entities. On the other hand, there is Serbia-Kosovo dispute and there are internal Macedonian crises. All of these questions are very closely linked with territorial solutions, so it is the main source of instability. On the other hand, there is ethnic conflicts and ethnic tensions, although they are not so visible on individual level. Our ethnic tensions and ethnic conflicts are more oriented to political situation, political levels. People in the region communicate personally very easy and very frequently, and there are many contacts between people from, for instance, from Croatia and Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia, all of them with Macedonia, Kosovo, with all others. But when we come to the table, when we come to the political discussion, tensions are rising enormously.
What's NATO's role of solution security problems in this region?
NATO has few roles, and the first time after the Dayton Peace Accord signing, NATO led a huge troops, 62,000 troops, to make a peace in Bosnia and Herzegovina. After that, NATO has been reducing its troops. Now there are European forces, U4 mission, but NATO is also a key stability factor on Kosovo through mission on the Kosovo UNMIC mission and KFOR mission, but also because before that in Macedonia and other countries. Actually today, NATO is an environment which promises a security environment for all aspiring candidates, because almost all candidates from the region, but only Serbia doesn't like to be a NATO member, but all other countries declared their orientation to NATO. Being a member of NATO, that means much more security, much more stability, and much more economy fast development.
Please talk about the reforms in your defense and security sector in your country.
That was a very sensitive question because the defense reform was imposed by international community, and it was the first time managed by international community. But thanks to a comprehensive approach of all former three armies in Bosnia and Herzegovina, because there were Army of the Republic of Srpska, Army of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Croat Council of Defense. All of them were in war each against each. But military factor, they unified themselves, they sat at the table, and they conveyed a very usefully implemented defense reform. Today, Bosnia and Herzegovina has only one unified single system of defense, a single army, although there are some political disputes, which is normal for almost all countries in the world, but we have the one defense system, very successfully implemented reform, and based on, before all, on discussion, on political understanding, and also on implementation of things which are strategically posed as goals.
What plans do you have with NATO?
Particularly in Bosnia and Herzegovina, there is very ambiguous position because Croat and Bosniak communities, through their institution, they are in favor of NATO strongly, between 80–90% of support. But the Republic of Srpska is much lower level of support, less than 30%. The reason is that NATO, during the war, 1995, bombed the position of the Army of the Republic of Srpska, and there were very few casualties. And also NATO, during the huge military campaign 1999, bombed Serbia, because the Republic of Srpska and Serbia, they are very closely in their political orientations and cooperation. So that's the reason that many people simply, in this phase, wouldn't like to become a NATO member.
Do you have civil control on military forces in your country?
There are absolutely imposed institutions which provide civil and democratic control over the defense sector. First of all, the main issues are related to defense that are discussed in the three-member presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina. There is also a Council of Ministers, in which is the Ministry of Defense. Minister of Defense is usually a civil person, not military. On the other hand, there are also the Joint Parliamentarian Commission, who strongly and very frequently deals with different security and defense issues. And there are some other things which provide civil democratic control over military sector, particularly in planning and budgetary process. But it is not enough. The thing we complain there is that we need much more media control and media NGO control and other sorts of public control over the defense system and the security sector, security processes and everything, but we think it is the part of learning for democracy process and a part of introducing of democracy in defense sector, but at the moment we can be satisfied with the achieved level of control.
And what's the level of military-civil relationship in your country?
It is quite clear that the Army of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Unified Army, is transformed due to NATO standards and European standards of civil military control. So we don't have a so-called recruited army. We conscripts, and we have only professional soldiers. Although we have disputed that 10,000 members of defense sector is too much because it is too much money for defense. We usually complain on that. But it is enough for three main functions which are proposed in a Euro-Atlantic partnership. There are also maintaining military equipment and military system. Another function is joining to natural disasters when they appear and to joining to peace operations, because Bosnia and Herzegovina is a member of few peace operations, either with NATO in Afghanistan or United Nations or even police missions, and so that is the thing that the civil sector, what is the intention and philosophy of societies in Europe and NATO, prevail over the military sector.
What is your prediction about the future? Is this process of conflicts and problems in this region will be solved in the next future, or?
I think that traditionally points of conflict would be still acting for a long time, but the thing is that now we try to overcome all that conflicts through discussion, through raising mutual understandings of problems, of goals, of everything. And the only one important thing is not to be hard power conflicts, not to be armed conflicts. Because in the recent 200 years, almost no one armed conflict make any solution. Only just political tools, political measures, discussion, and all other things which belong to democracy and other principles can make solution for conflicts in the Balkans.
And what do you think about the conflicts in South Caucasus region?
I think that it is very complicated conflicts, but my first idea is that every country in the Caucasus has to develop themselves inside in direction of more developed democracy, just to get rid of so-called authoritarian structures, because a lot of economic power is usually wasted by maybe some political elites, and ordinary people have to try to direct processes and have to try to provide a bigger word in the decision-making process, because we have to take care about the necessities, wishes, orientations, and political thinking about ordinary people who usually produce the main of wealth wherever. So that means that, and the second thing is that the Caucasus countries, they have to provide a framework for wide political dialogue. it's impossible to make any solution on arms. It seems to me that many people think that it is possible to make solution just through fighting or through wars or something. But I think in the Caucasus, I think that Caucasus is politically part of Europe and part of Europe's tradition, and it's impossible to wait some hard power solutions. It's necessary to make political solutions for all problems in the Caucasus, either regionally or individually.
And my last question, what do you think, Azerbaijan is on the way to democracy or not?
I think that every country is on the way to democracy, but it is question of level. I deeply hope that Azerbaijan has to open its society for different opinions, for different political orientations, to improve discussion, because Azerbaijan is a rich country, and if that wealth would be remained in the hands of few, very soon ordinary people would be faced with such a problem. Now, when they will join in the common effort to raise developing our society on a higher level, I think that Azerbaijan has a good chance and good opportunity to become a part of family of developed nations. Particularly in recent time, there was good relations between regional countries and Azerbaijan, and a few months ago there was a huge business forum between the Republic of Srpska businessmen and Azerbaijani in Banja Luka city from my country.
Thank you very much.